tremendous entertainment in the past. Remember that game we had at Wilderspool last season when that man there, Frano Botica, won the match for Wigan with a last-minute controversial penalty. It was a sensational contest that night, and it was a game really that decided almost the destiny of the championship, because Warrington, of course, lost out in the title race to Wigan, along with Bradford Northern, on points difference. Gary Tees, the prop forward for Warrington, 27 years old, in his 5th season at Warrington. He enjoys the challenge of Wigan against Warrington in the Stonesborough Championship. The champions for the past 5 seasons get this one underway, leading the table as we come into 1995 by just 1 point. Leeds, with their big win this afternoon over third-placed Halifax, have done their chances a power of good, and Wigan now hoping to rise to the challenge and put daylight between them. That was the run from Paul Cullen. Cullen, good tackle on him by Henry Paul. Barlow is the dummy half. Paul again the man with the challenge. Cowie standing over him, and Cowie, well, I was going to say Cowie will be penalised, but the penalty has gone to Wigan.
Well, he never got up and played the ball. That's the ruling. That's an unusual then. The hooker, Takeda Barlow, he played the ball whilst he was still on the ground. Look at that. You must stand up and play it cleanly, but there was obviously interference with the prop forward, Cowie.
Kelvin Skerritt with the driving run into the danger zone. This is Murdoch, and he passes the ball short and finds Neil Cowie. Cowie is grounded. Wigan at 11 metres short of the line. Murdoch again. Good ball from him. This is Andy Farrell, 10 metres now from that Wigan line. Good tackling stint by Warrington. Can they hold out? The second row, Mick Cassidy takes it on. Hall, the dummy half. He spreads it to Murdoch. Murdoch puts it back on the inside for Skerritt, and Warrington standing up to the challenge well. They've been working hard in training all week, I know, doing extra sessions for this one. Botica, the ball to Betts. Botica back again, puts boot to it. It bounces off to Robinson, and Robinson is just hauled down. That was nearly an opportunity for Wigan.
Beautiful kick there from Frano Botica, but really, the Warrington defence just stood off him. There was no sweeper there. They were slow to get back. It took a favourable bounce there for the Wigan side. And that looked a little bit late there from the prop forward, Neil Cowie, too.
He gets away with it. Davis in possession for the first time. Barlow, the dummy half. Turn it down the left-hand side. That was the prop forward Cowie. Tees, rather, with the drive in for Warrington. Good kick downfield, and it just finds touch. Francis Maloney with the haircut.
Good play there from Maloney. Bit of a wind against him in this first half. Perhaps he'll be better suited to kick it a little bit lower next time. Trying to just punch it over the top, but they'll be quite happy with it. They were under a lot of pressure there when Warrington gave away that silly penalty. He could have gone either way in my book, though.
Here's Connolly, and he finds Botica and gives it to a fire in space. The fire was tracked by Davis. He turned it inside to Robinson. Lovely skills. This is Botica down the touchline, and he skips through one tackle and scores. What a start for Wigan. Botica, the man who sped half the length of the field. The New Zealand international, his 3rd try of the season.
This will go down as one of the classic tries of the season. Look at that run around, and a beautiful delayed pass to St. Martin of Fire on the way. Back on the inside to Robinson, and look how he accelerates through the gap. No slide in defence from Warrington, and Botica, the man who architected it, off he goes to the line. He's got the speed, desperation, cover defence, but to no avail. Superb stuff. Look at this, the runaround situation. Connolly just holds the ball up. There's Frano, and out wide, he's drifted in off the wing. Look at the speed, and this is where they get caught. No one pushed in. Jonathan Davies was left in no man's land, and a man that they say does not have great speed shows that he has.
Terrific try from Botica, rounding off some fluid Wigan approach work. And Botica with the 4 now tries to make it Botica for 6 with his 43rd goal of the season. Way out on the far touchline, just about a metre in from touch on that right-hand side. 20 metres exactly away from the post. Botica taking aim. Champions ahead, 4-0 early here at Central Park. Tell you, and the flags tell you that Botica, the boot, is back in form. 6-0 Wigan.
How's this for a wonderful run-around move? 2 our own men there. The first one, Botica. 2 going for Botica. The gap appears. The speed of a fire stretches them. And look at the perfect timing from Robinson. But it's that point there. He just accelerated away. There was a huge gap. The double run-around has just stretched them out completely. That is one of the best tries I've seen this season.
4 goals and a drop goal against Warrington here last season. Now he gets on the score sheet with a try and another goal. Cassidy will run the ball back. Maguire was in there, so too Barlow. Hall gives it to Dennis Betts.
Geez, the prop forward Gary Tees came in very late on the top. Let's be fair, Betts was going down.
Skerritt with the driving run, it was halted. Hall the dummy half, and he finds Cowie. Good work from Cowie, kept the legs going, made an extra 5 or 6 metres before going down under the challenge.
That'll be a keen contest, the 2 prop forwards, Neil Cowie and Bruce Maguire, the Australian. They'll have plenty to say to each other.
This is the last tackle for Wigan, the kick from Botica, and it bounced a little unkindly there for Roper. He had to pick it up and then take them on. Paul and Robinson bring him down. Roper loses the footwear. This now is Iestyn Harris. Young full-back, Welsh international, Paul Cullen. Telling me this week he's really up for this match, and it's the one game of the season among all the others that he really does look forward to. Good hands from Warrington, but it suddenly went sour for them. Mackey had nowhere to go. Here's Tees.
They were far too deep there, Warrington. We were expecting perhaps a long ball out wide, but Mackey didn't take the gamble.
Shelford to Maloney. Maloney hauled down eventually by Paul after Farrell got an ankle tap on him. Shelford again. The call was back inside from Harris, and Harris dabs it along the ground and into touch on the far side.
Safety first option by Harris. Realises that get the ball down into the quarter. Wait for the mistake, hopefully from the Wigan side.
Wigan ahead then, 6 points to 0. This is their first home league game since November the 27th, when they beat Oldham by 46 points to 0. 100% at Central Park. The only other unblemished home record, by the way, belongs to Warrington. But it's Warrington's away form that's let them down so far this season. And tonight they face their biggest test, and having to come from behind, and Warrington all caught offside.
He played the advantage for quite some while as John Holdsworth, the referee. But there was quite a few of them there, went well before the time that the ball was being played. Good refereeing by Holdsworth. Wanted to see whether there was any advantage. Perhaps if there'd have been a clean break by Wigan, it would have been play on.
Cowie tackled by Tees. Hall the dummy half. Murdoch misses out Skerritt and finds Cassidy. Cassidy was not tackled. He got up off the floor and was able to continue. Warrington man is injured. It's Francis Maloney. He's a bit groggy as this attack continues from Wigan and Botica. Ball down there by Cullen.
Caught a stray boot there, did Francis Maloney.
Paul gets the ball away brilliantly to Betts. Good tackle by Maguire. And what's more, Betts loses the ball in that challenge. It was ferocious from Maguire.
Well, if he lost it there, I'm a Chinaman. You could see quite clearly that Bruce Maguire is bringing the arm down over the top of the ball and drags it away from him. Well, 64 with fried rice for me tonight.
Harris is grounded 20 metres from his own posts. Here's Sanderson. Sanderson, that's a good ball, but nowhere for Chris Rudd to go, really. Shelford out the back door. It was quick thinking, but Maguire wasn't ready for it. They coughed up possession, and Wigan have it back.
Well, they're just panicking Warrington. They're trying to keep this ball alive. Far too early in the piece. 6 points down. They should be rolling the sleeves up and getting back in the swing of things, getting through some hard work. Not trying to play fancy football yet.
Murdoch, Botica. He gives it to Cassidy to take over. He's tackled by Barlow. Hall and Farrell. Scrambling defence from Warrington. Hall, Murdoch, Botica. Murdoch wanted to take over. Botica thought better of it, gave it to Aitchison.
But you can see on the blind side, the Warrington defence failed to move up. The switch back inside was on.
The ball went backwards. Craig Murdoch stopped. Referee John Holdsworth waves play on, and Warrington have to shuttle it dead.
Not only did they stop, the Warrington defence did also. Referee Holdsworth, giving the youngster the benefit of the doubt, goes round the back over the top of the shoulder. It's a correct decision. But when he picked the ball up, Warrington just stood there expecting the scrum to be formed. I know one thing, Eddie. The Warrington coach, Brian Johnson, will be getting a word out there as quickly as possible to lift up a gear.
Henry Paul was almost through. It was a good tackle by Maloney. Robertson darting away from dummy half. This hard-pressed Warrington defence working overtime to keep Wigan out. Cassidy slips. The undersoil blanket here at Central Park ensuring this game went ahead despite some icy conditions in Wigan today. Betts is tackled. Murdoch, Botica, long ball, Aitchison, Connolly in support, and Connolly just couldn't keep hold of it.
Enterprising play out on the wide. Paul Aitchison linking through, but Connolly never really had full control of that. Was put under a lot of pressure by the winger, Jonathan Roper. Mark Forster, should I say.
Gary Connolly, his 60th game for Wigan, ever present this season. Just only one since he made his debut. Mackey, the dummy half. And here come Warrington launching another attack in the shape of Francis Maloney. The crowd's somewhat quiet here at Central Park, waiting for this match really to catch fire. But catch fire, I'm sure it will. Two sides desperate for the win. That's a dangerous long ball, to say the least. And Rudd did well to come back and pick that up. That went firing out.
Well, that's amazing. That's the second silly pass from Kelly Shelford. Man who's experienced really should be taking things down. They're putting themselves under a lot of pressure and they don't need to.
Davis's boot will perhaps settle a bit of that pressure down, but it bounces and into the arms of Aitchison. He will run it back. Good run from the full-back. He is an Academy and Under-21 international, returns after missing the last two. Martin Hall, the dummy half. Cowie on the run. Murdoch and Botica again. Here's Betts. Now Connolly. And Connolly almost through. Good tackle on him by Chris Rudd. A fire. Gets the ball away. Finds Hall. He finds Cassidy. Back to Connolly. Connolly to Cowie. Cowie will bring it back to where all the prone bodies lie. He gives it in the end to Skerrett. And Skerrett is not tackled. The movement will continue. Connolly is tackled now. It's the last one. Wigan bang in front of the Warrington post. We'll run it here with Botica. Botica showed it, send it up. Farrell, and Farrell is in. Wigan are cutting Warrington to pieces early here. Champions look bang on form. The warning sign posted by Leeds, and Wigan are responding.
Well, if there's any doubt who the man would be to take over the experience of Sean Edwards they missed today is this man, Frano Botica. Beautiful shimmy and shake there. What a beautifully timed pass. But look at the step on the big fella, Andrew Farrell. Sheer strength and power. But that was superb play by Frano Botica. Look at the build-up. Youngster Murdoch sets him through. Look at the step in and out. Through the dummy, Davis really did take it. You've got to take the man with a sliding defence. It was not there, and I'm afraid that wasn't the best attempt from the youngster, Easton Harris. He is a big man, though, is Andrew Farrell, but well played by Frano Botica.
Andrew Farrell's first ever Wigan try was against Warrington in April 1993. And Andrew Farrell now scores his latest Wigan try against Warrington. It's his fourth of this campaign. Botica, 1 out of 1 so far. This one immeasurably easier than the first, but still an angle for the Kiwi to judge. But if anyone can, Botica can. And Botica does. Wigan 12-0.
You can see Davies is running through where's arrowed, but it's a man that's circled that doesn't move in. You've got to slide across. Once you miss him, you're gone. And that was beautiful play there by Botica. Look at the ease of the way the big man's cut back inside. Wigan are running hot. And the man is that Frano Botica that's really sending them on their way.
Young Andrew Farrell, 19 years of age and 5 caps for his country already. Becoming a giant in this game. Quarter an hour gone then, Wigan ahead 12-0. Warrington really must step up a gear if they're to compete with the champions tonight. Just wonder if the fact that Leeds won so easily against Halifax earlier in the day, Steve-O, has given Wigan the necessary kick up the pants.
Well, it certainly would have helped them, but they don't need any motivation. They realise that they are the champion side, and they're not going to give away this ground without really fighting for it. And that's a determination that's on show there from Kelvin Skerritt.
Yes, he gritted his teeth, didn't he? And he kept 4 of them at bay for a long time before hitting the turf.
The sad part about it, though, is that Warrington look very lackadaisical in defence. They're moving up on occasions, and then on other parts they're just hanging back.
Botica puts boot to ball. One bounce, Harris is there. Now can the youngster create anything? Not against tackling like that from Connolly. Backed up by a fire. And here now is Mark Forster. 17 tries so far this season. My word, how Warrington need one from him or from somewhere quickly here. Cullen with this run. Not tackled. Now he is.
Well, Warrington have to look towards Greg Mackey. He's got to get himself involved more into this game.
There he is with that pass into the arms there of Harris. Harris, the ball to Forster, the tackle from Connolly. And just take a look at the fact that this is now the 5th tackle. Rudd, oh, they're panicking a bit, Warrington. And Harris's kick downfield sails out. He was under pressure from Murdoch. Mind you, his own players, Steve-O, put him under pressure.
Well, the thing is, they're not sorting themselves out, are they? They were a designated kicker before when it gets into the latter part of the tackle count. You've got to get yourself space. Can't just afford to be flicking passes out. Look at the scoreline, 12-0. It shows that they really have got to put in a little bit more effort.
Possession is heavily in Wigan's favour. 60-40, opening 17 minutes. Ball in play for 10 of those 17 minutes. It's in play now with Connolly. Aitchison, the fullback, tall, lanky figure. Taking it on his own, saw a little gap and almost got through. Maguire was there, and Maguire running a tightrope, and he's been penalised, and rightly.
Well, they all know it, don't they? And he said a few words, so that'll be another 10 metres, and that will be a gift for Frano Botica. Little doubt about it,
doesn't it?
Well, little doubt about it. These players realise it. It's as though they've just been lobbed on their lap, have they, this morning? It's been going on for the last 2 weeks. They know that they're not going to mess around and play the balls. I think this is just sheer frustration there. They realise they're on the rack at the moment. And the way that this Wigan outfit is sweeping the ball across, forwards running the angles, working hard, and then the switches, the runarounds, have just absolutely baffled Warrington.
Referee Holdsworth enforcing the letter of the law, Steve-O, but I just wonder whether he's been enforcing it from the very first whistle. He's been a bit lenient, to say the least, but now he's clamped down.
Well, I suppose each referee has his own interpretations on it. I'm sure that Holdsworth realises that his boss, Greg McCallum, is in our studio, watching every move.
14-0 Wigan and 3 penalties to 0 Wigan. But you can't really afford to give a club like this a 14-point lead, but Warrington have the armour to come back at them. But they need to get their game going quickly, the men in green and white. They really do. Not the happiest start to the new year for Warrington. Davis restarts. His team 14-0 down. Cassidy. And certainly, Steve-O, if it was a boxing match, you would say that Wigan have been doing their warm-ups in the changing rooms a lot more vigorously than Warrington. Wigan look eager.
They certainly do. They want to prove a point, especially at home in front of their fans. But it's the way that they've done it. They're sharing the work. The forwards are doing it. Then they're getting the ball out wide. The combination of Frano Botica and the young Craig Murdoch has been most impressive. We said before the game that Wigan perhaps would lose the talent of Sean Edwards, and let's be fair, he's a talented player, is Edwards. They haven't lost anything as yet.
Murdoch linking well to keep that attack going on the last tackle. It's Hall, clips one over the top and into the arms of the young winger Roper. He releases the ball. That was risky business. Harris had no chance.
Well, that's another example as to what's the problem with Warrington. You'd think this was just a warm-up game, touch and pass. You don't throw the ball out there. I mean, look, that was heavy traffic there. Betts nearly took the youngster's head off.
Here's Harris again, though, and he takes the ball to himself. That's allowed. No one standing in front. Drags Warrington over the halfway line. Mackey over the top to Rudd. Rudd has got Forster outside him. He's got Connolly round him, and he's got Aitchison there too.
Good work there by the prop forward Neil Cowie. You saw him put himself between the man with the ball and the support player.
Here's Barlow. Barlow to Sanderson, who makes a meal of it. Icy fingers running down his spine.
But that ball didn't have to go back on the inside. Well, I don't know what the tactics are in the Warrington camp, but I haven't seen any yet.
A fire. Oh, they just put him down. He spins out of trouble. Harris is ahead of him. Good tackle, Harris, but he's not finished yet. A fire thought he was for a moment. The tackle wasn't completed.
Well, gas went around this ground there when Martin fired. Went into the clear and he didn't seem to put the gas on. Never mind when he thought he was tackled.
The referee has stopped the clock and he has put Dennis Betts, I think, in the blood bin. And Dennis Betts saying, well, can I be patched up on the field of play? But referee John Holdsworth quite right. And Betts will go off to be patched up on the sidelines. Might need a stitch or two in the cut on the eyebrow. And so Wigan will restart. And Simon Horton, the man who's come on, as Kelvin Skerritt drops the ball, his first mistake of the evening.
He regathered, but they'll play the first knock on. This is the fire break. Now, it was woeful tackling there. They went far too high. The gap that appears there, Maguire was stood. But you can blame Maloney and Davies. They went far too high. Now, at this point, I can't believe that Martin Fire didn't put it in the top gear. Maybe he's playing with an injury. Who knows?
And the referee has now penalised Wigan. And Neil Cowie said something out of turn to referee John Holdsworth. And Wigan now have been marched the 10 yards.
Well, there was a late flop that went over the top. You can see Andy Farrell helped with Mick Cassidy. As far as I'm concerned, I think John Holdsworth, the referee, should start looking for those little cards in his pocket. That'll get the message across.
Here's Gary Tees trying to drive it in towards the 20-metre line. Now Maguire takes over. Maguire, with all the experience in the world, he's the sort of player Warrington must look to. And here's another Maloney. And Davis was scooting on the inside. Barlow, the dummy half. Barlow, good ball to Davis, he's trying to stretch for the line, and Wigan just hold him out.
Good play from the hooker there, really well, but Davies just not strong enough.
Barlow again, spreads it out wide. Still they come wide to Warrington. Maguire, that's good quick hands, but he's given it to Maguire. And Maguire now has got Mackie after him. He gets the support from Connolly. And Connolly now taking them on. Shelford, the man who got to him first.
Well, there's little doubt in my mind that Martin O'Fire is not fit. Clean break, he would have been under the post.
Henry Paul. They're grabbing at straws, Warrington, trying to keep Henry Paul and the rest of this Wigan side out.
They've forgotten how to tackle by the legs. They're going far too high.
Cassidy bounces straight through one. That was Greg Mackie who felt the full weight of that tackle. He's out of the defensive line now as Murdoch finds Horton, and Horton going for the line, the sub. He's so close. Connolly there, the dummy half. Little dab forward, an attempt by Connolly, but it was well read by Warrington.
Well, they really are finding the gaps, aren't they? Nice try there, the option wasn't off. Came off the boot. It's all about the pressure. This is where Warrington are in their own quarter. Surely they've got to get this defence sorted out. They've forgotten how to tackle.
Davis with the run, but wrong studs perhaps slipping. The two of the players tonight slipping. I'm sure it's going to be quite crisp on the top of this Central Park surface.
Good decision that. Play on. Barlow was trying to get the pass away. You see it here, he turns to get the pass away. Bang down from Farrell though, it could have been a penalty on the second look.
Horton on for Betts. Hall and Cowie. Brave challenge by Tees, but Wigan rolling forward again with Hall, and now with Skerritt who bumps one off. The ball goes round the corner. That's a great tackle from Harris. Henry Paul, dummy half.
Got to be offside. You've got to go back the 10 metres, or in this occasion when it was closer to the line, over the goal line. He said he'd made no attempt to interfere with it, but if you put yourself in front of it, you can't just throw your hands up like that. He said it's the best I could do. Well, the best he can do is give away a penalty. Doesn't matter how many times he will appeal to the referee, John Holdsworth. I'm afraid that could have been classified as a professional foul. He got himself yellow card, 10 minutes sin bin.
Return to the side against a former club witness on Boxing Day. Warrington won, but they have been playing out of sorts, according to coach Brian Johnson. Made progress to the Regals quarter-final.
Well, they haven't let him down tonight, have they? They're definitely out of sorts. I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the Warrington dressing room at half-time. I bet they can't wait for it to come.
Botica then with this penalty attempt. All from a similar range and similar angle tonight, and another one that's straightened through and between the timbers. 16-0 Wigan, champions, bang in form. Let's go downstairs to Bill Arthur, first time in 95. Substitute news, Bill.
Warrington coach Brian Johnson's response is to make a double substitution. Off comes to Carey Barlow, number 9, and 8 Gary Tees. On goes 14 Andy Bennett and 15 Gary Chambers. So Brian Johnson looking before half-time for his pack to try and get their way back into this game. They really have got to find some inspiration from somewhere, because given the effort that Warrington have put into the build-up for this game, this really has been a below-par performance from them. News of Dennis Betts, he's still in the dressing room having a treatment for a cut below the eye. It could require stitches. It sounds as though it's a nasty gash that he's got.
And Robinson trying to get to his feet. Referee John Holdsworth. Well, he's been a patient man so far.
He was very patient with the substitute Gary Chambers then, who came in late, flopped.
Cassidy having a big game for Wigan. Hall, dummy half, just runs round one man, finds Botica.
That was forward.
Yes, it was. Into the arms of Skerrett. Last one for Wigan. Hall there. It's back with Botica. Perhaps a little bit too much meat behind that one. But Steve-O, how they will miss Botica when he departs for New Zealand at the end of this season.
Point scoring machine par excellence, isn't he? He's just an absolutely wonderful player. And he's shown over the last couple of seasons to a lot of doubters who said that all he was a goal kicker. And I think anyone watching this opening stanzas of this game, created the first 2 tries, really has been on song tonight.
And look round then when the game restarted by Warrington. You could throw a blanket over virtually all of the team. They're not lining up and making any sort of effort here tonight at all.
Well, the man who's the playmaker is Greg Mackey, and I'm afraid we haven't seen much of him.
There he is now. Ball into the arms of Francis Maloney. Shelford to Mackey. That's the combination that could work something for Warrington here. Harris is tackled though by Botica.
The biggest problem though that Mackey is getting in at first man.
Good kick forward by Shelford. Davis is there. Soccer skills from Davis. No try. So close.
Good control with the foot there, but well played, Aitchison. He's got the right fist to it. Kelly Shelford, the kick through. You could see that there was no sweeper there. He was late to arrive, was Craig Murdoch. Well played, Aitchison. Just at the last minute, fingertip control.
But at last, Steve-O, Warrington showing something in attack.
Well, they have to, and of course that is a key factor. They've got to start using the kick, but this man, Greg Mackey, is not taking the man on. He's passing the ball without sucking the defence to him. All Wigan are doing is just hanging off. Say, you do what you want, we'll wait for your runners.
Sanderson was that runner, 20 metres short of the Warrington line. Here's Mackey, and now Chambers. Chambers dropped to the bench by Coach Brian Johnson, and possibly with a point to prove, as has Maguire, playing at prop this evening. Chance there for Bennett, but it was soon snuffed out. Last tackle here for Warrington, very close. Mackey into the arms of Maloney, trying to sidestep his way to the line. Good defence, Martin Hall.
Excellent defence from the hooker there. Maloney thought he was through. Last gasp tackle there. Well, that should have built their confidence. It's been a woeful display so far. They know they've got a lot of things to sort out at the half-time break.
16-0 to Wigan, and Warrington, the side with such a great record here at Central Park since First Division football in 1973. Warrington 10 wins to Wigan's 9, 1 draw in the past 21 seasons, a proud record. But at the moment, the record has been blown apart by this start from Wigan. And Murdoch filling in for Sean Edwards. Well, it doesn't matter who fills these Wigan jerseys, frankly, whether it's Edwards or Twigamala or whoever it is. The script seems to say the same.
They don't buy duck eggs, do they?
Forster, Mackey. Nowhere then for Roper to go. Mackey again. Harris. Skerrett with the tackle. Chambers dragging Warrington over the halfway line. Here's Maguire. He hit that ball at pace. That's a lot better. Good run this from Maguire. Looking for support. No one was with him.
That's got to be a sin bin. Come on, Mr. Holdsworth, get the yellow card out. That was a deliberate professional foul. He went pretty high in the first place, Paul Aitchison, and then goes back for the second. Well, John Holdsworth, in my book, has left him in the dressing room. That's the only reason I can think. Gets up to play the ball, swings him around again.
Warrington are running the penalty. 2 points, no use to them. Chambers disappears under that challenge. Referee Holdsworth screaming at Chambers to get up, pointing back to the Wigan line, telling the Wigan defence to hang off. This is Shelford, the ball to Cullen. Long pass now to Maguire. And Henry Paul had moved up very quickly. Harris from dummy half. Again, this Wigan defence stands firm. Mackie, Shelford, Davis, out wide and into the front row of the paddock.
Now then, was this ball touched in flight? There you see Davis saying that you're not talking to me and tell me what's happening. Over the top there. No chance for the winger. Just hasn't been Davis's night so far.
It was touched in flight. It's Warrington's head and feet at this scrum. The pressure continues then for Wigan. Maloney with that run. Strong defence again from Wigan. Sanderson, the man at dummy half. Warrington for the first time tonight showing a bit of urgency in their play with Shelford. Rudd, dummy half. Chambers with the call to come on the blind side. Slips the ball in the pass. Chambers again, dummy half. It's now with Mackie. Long ball from him to nobody in particular. Sloppy play. Harris has to pick it up. Feeds it out wide to Roper. Roper taking on Robinson. Tips the ball back inside. That's good play. Great support. And Cullen. Cullen with the try. Warrington at last. Well, it's taken them 35 minutes almost. And suddenly Warrington are in the match.
It's all about a little bit of lady luck. It wasn't the best pass from Greg Mackie. Went to ground there, was picked up from the full-back, who flipped the ball out wide, and the winger did well. Look how he goes in the in and outside. It looked as though Robinson had him fair and square, but he got the ball back inside. Well played by Roper there. And good support play by Harris and Cullen in. It's what they needed. They needed somebody to lift their spirits. Did well, did Robinson. Queued him up, but didn't the winger get the ball back on the inside well? Super inside pass to Cullen. They needed that one.
And that was a landmark for Paul Cullen, his 50th try for Warrington. The longest serving professional, Paul Cullen with the try, and one of their new young breed, Iestyn Harris with this conversion. Important that the teenager slots this one over. Crowd doing its best. Harris tried to drift it in on the breeze. Warrington only 4 then, 16 Wigan.
You see Harris gets the ball out wide, but that's the plays that he runs. It's all about support play. He can see that there's a chance, and he gets back on the inside, trails the man, and that's how the try was scored. If he would have just stood still, there'd have been no support. Well played there by the youngster.
Paul Cullen, 14 years. This is his 15th coming up now at Wilderspool. Wigan, meanwhile, have made a change. Number 15 there, Terry O'Connor, is on. And the man he's replaced is prop forward Neil Cowie. O'Connor, the big money buy from Salford in the summer. And Dennis Betts, one stitch around his left eye. And Betts is back on, and having defended this run, here's Kelly Shelford. Suddenly Warrington have stepped up a gear, and possession is coming back their way.
Well, it helped by the substitutions. That was a good run by Andy Bennett. Put them in this position.
Huge towering kick from Davis. Here's a tester for Aitchison. Cullen was underneath him. Wigan got out of jail. Murdoch with the run. Scampering run to the 20-metre line.
Well, he's played the advantage there as the referee John Holdsworth. There's little doubt in my mind that the fullback Aitchison was taken out. No attempt on trying to go for the football.
Forward pass. Forward pass against Wigan.
Well, that's a mistake that they were looking for. All about applying the pressure. The high kick. Little doubt about it. Scuddy to overstep the mark. Lackadaisical there. They've been penalised for it. Wouldn't it be great to get another 4 points or 6 points before the half-time break?
Maloney almost through the gap. Good job that Farrell came across to cut him down. And cut him down he did. Mackie. Shelford. Still going Shelford. Tremendous run from the Kiwi. Pulled down eventually by Connolly. 10 metres short of the line. Much better last 10 minutes of this first half. From Warrington and Chambers. He's wrestled to the ground. John Holdsworth screaming at the defenders. Mackie sucked the man in there. Ball out wide. This is run. Run. It's all down. So close, Warrington. They're stretching Wigan now. Maguire. And he caught the ball up. And Skerritt accepted the gift gratefully.
Well, desperation stage trying to get the ball alive. To the rescue is Kelvin Skerritt, who came in pretty quickly to little halfback Greg Mackie when they sent the ball out wide. I must say, it really has lifted their spirits. They coach Warrington, Brian Johnson bringing on the substitutions.
Dennis Betts out of the blood bin, back on the field, one stitch in the wound. This is Robinson.
It's vital now that Warrington kick Wigan out.
That's Murdoch with the kick downfield.
It's a good one as well.
Yes, Harris has got to run it away from his own line. 3 to greet him. There's the half-time siren. And it's 16-4 to Wigan at the break. Wigan ahead at half-time by 16 points to 4. The 2 tries from Botica and Farrell. Botica in fine form with the boot. Cullen with the try for Warrington. Don't forget, by the way, we're on the air tonight until 10 o'clock. And we'll have all the highlights from elsewhere in the big league this New Year's Day. There's the statistics from the first half. Team tackling equally shared. 5-1 scrums to Warrington. 5-3 the penalty count. Handling errors. 5-4 in Warrington's favour, and the possession really has levelled itself up, hasn't it, as we have approached half-time. But Botica in a rich vein of form. Edwards drops out with the calf strain, and Botica is handed the General's stars for the epaulets, and he picks them up, and he does the job magnificently. And Paul Cullen's try has given Warrington hope for this second half. A couple of converted tries, and remember what happened on Boxing Day. And with players like Jonathan Davis in the side, we could well see a repeat performance. Saints hit Wigan with 2 early tries. Can Warrington do the same here tonight? The next few minutes will tell us as Iestyn Harris restarts the second half of this match in the Stones Bit Championship here at Central Park. First tackle of the match in the second 40 on Mick Cassidy, and Bill Arthur is with the Warrington assistant coach, Welsh team coach Clive Griffiths.
Clive, a bit happier with the way the side was playing towards the end of that first half, maybe?
Yes, when we settled down and held the ball consistently in the sets of 6, we turned Wigan round and put the pressure on.
And what's the aim early in this second half? Repeat that.
Yeah, compete for as we did in the last 15 minutes of the first half, and try and get the first score, obviously.
Because, to be fair, it was a pretty lacklustre start by your boys, wasn't it?
Yes, they certainly caught us cold, and they scored 2 nice tries down our left-hand side there. But yeah, we've still got a lot of work to do, and I'm sure we get back into it.
Well, I'm sure that Clive Griffiths and Brian Johnson will have read the riot act, Steve-O, to the Warrington players in that dressing room. And they know that if they can hit Warrington early, well, anything's possible.
Well, it always is, I say, with the interpretations of the ruling around the play of the ball, quick runs from dummy half, and that's what's needed. It just needs a bit of confidence to them.
Cullen has got the confidence after that try. Paul with the tackle. Into dummy half goes the young substitute Andy Bennett, 21 years old. He's dropped by Terry O'Connor. This is the last tackle here for Warrington. Davis has it, and Davis dinks it over the top. Now, was he tripped as he kicked that one forward? Davis, I think, thinks he was, but John Holdsworth thinks otherwise.
Well, there's a chip over from the Welsh Wizard. Was pretty committed though, was Terry O'Connor. It was just a little bit of a push at point of impact. Little doubt, I suppose, that Jonathan Davis would try to milk it.
Gary Connolly down injured.
Yeah, it's one of those situations whereby a man spins round and perhaps a loose knee coming through into the ribs.
Yeah, Gary Chambers was the man who clobbered him, but Jonathan Davis, since he went down after kicking that ball forward, has been holding the shoulder ruefully. That's the shoulder he injured, of course, against the Australians for Great Britain. He's only played against Widnes on Boxing Day and half a match here tonight. He really has struggled with it. And Connolly doesn't look at all well either. Sort of little incidents that can turn matches and just upset the rhythm. Wigan will roll forward again here with Dennis Betts. Betts is having a magnificent season for Wigan. It's his farewell, he's off to the Warriors. My word, no one can accuse him of lack of effort.
No, he'll always give you that, 100% plus. That's not a bad little kick down there by the little halfback, Murdoch. He's had a fine game too.
Now Mackey gets the pass away early to Shelford, and Shelford draws them in and then finds Davis, who takes them on down the outside, but Aitchison, the man who shuttled across to bring him to the ground. Here's Shelford again, and now Chambers straightens things up.
This is where Mackey should be running at the defence.
It's Bennett, and he gets it away to Cullen, and Cullen to the young winger Roper. Roper just couldn't get away from Murdoch or Robinson. Chance here. That's how close Andy Bennett is. Just hauled back by those two. Warrington so close. Mackey with the kick. And Botica lying all over Davis as he went to regather the ball. But the referee said he will play the knock-on.
Well, the ball definitely played the man. Botica went onto him, and you can see Davis reach out with the right arm. But he was thinking, should I really do that? Someone come and clattered over the top. That's how your shoulder can go again.
Well, he's certainly favouring that shoulder, isn't he? Aitchison, the man in possession, though, for Wigan. And now it's Robinson. By the way, Steve, the word from the Wigan dressing room is that Martin Offiah is 100% fit. They just believe he took the wrong option with that run that we highlighted at half-time. They say he's fit.
Well, I doubt it to tell you any other, would they?
Farrell. Little Greg Mackey trying to wrap him up. Took three eventually to bring Greg Mackey down. There's Offiah. Centre as much attention about his fitness as his try-scoring exploits. Cassidy picks himself up. Paul is there. This is Murdoch. Murdoch will clip it over the top. It's a good kick because it means that Roper will have to run this ball back. And that's the reception committee that arrives for him. He makes just 12 metres. Davis the dummy half. Harris. Good step from Harris, but it didn't fool Mick Cassidy. Here's Mackey now. Gets the ball away to Rudd. Here's Maguire. Let's go downstairs to Bill.
Don't think Gary Connolly is going to last much longer in this one. He's taken a blow to the ribs in that incident a few moments ago where he felt the full force of, I think it was Bruce Maguire on his side. And so number 14, the young wingman, Simon Horton, is going to come on very shortly. He's been on once already. I think it'll be Horton for Connolly in just a moment. In fact, right now.
Davis, meanwhile, protesting that he was tackled without the ball as he shaped to kick.
Well, it was in the action of kicking, so that means that a man is allowed to attack the man. And in the action of playing the ball onto your foot, you can still touch the man. Good refereeing by John Holdsworth there.
O'Connor picks himself up and Farrell's the dummy half to Murdoch. Long ball to Botica. Did Botica get fingertips to that? Yes, he did. Just a touch, but Holdsworth was eagle-eyed.
Well, it's about the worst thing that's really come about there for the youngster Craig Murdoch. He's in a fine game. Wasn't the best of passes. I'm not so sure that Frano did get his fingers to it. Didn't matter. The man with the merry whistle is in charge.
Head and feed Warrington, and we're going to offside at the stroke.
Nice to see too.
Creeping up.
There you see it. Far too many of them offside. Nice to see the referees picking that up as well. Not just concentrating on one area, which is the play of the ball. We do have other problems within our game.
Bennett is the dummy half, and here now is Shelford. And that was a forward pass. Warrington a pull back. The word, by the way, from the pitch is that Gary Connolly wants to stay on.
Well, that's a pass from Shelford. You can see that about a foot forward. He's a man that's capable of turning this game around for Warrington. Well, Gary Connolly doesn't have to prove how tough he is if he is carrying a bad rib injury from that tackle. Perhaps well suited to take a rest.
Both these sides have got important matches in the midwinter knockout, the Regal Trophy next weekend. Wigan have the small matter of St Helens here at Central Park, and Warrington travel to second division league leaders Keighley. That will be interesting at Cougar Park. It'll be mighty interesting here at Central Park also. Hall the dummy half, Murdoch, Botica into the arms of Powell. Powell dragging attention to him, just managing to stay in the field of play.
Such a strong boy, isn't he, there? Not many players would have kept himself out of touch. Good tackle there.
Yeah, Murdoch launched himself to try and get over the top of those two tacklers. They wouldn't be put off. Botica hoists the high one. Tester here for Harris. Deals with it confidently and gets out of trouble brilliantly. This is a rich talent. Support the right. That was a knock on from Ruff.
And the chance has gone. It wasn't the best pass. Wonderful play by Justin Harris. Martin of fire there, just tackling at the right moment. It would have been interesting though, wouldn't it? This is a run from Harris. It was a beautiful step. The best steppers off the right foot I've seen from a youngster for many a day. But Rudd really should have taken that.
Just as he was tackled there, Steve-O, by a fire, we released the ball. And that just made it into a sloppy pass.
Oh, it was good play by a fire. I'd love to have seen both of them to go at it. See who was the fastest there.
Yeah.
That would prove whether he was fit or not.
Martin Hall, dummy half. Short ball to Skerritt. The ground shudders when Skerritt gets it and is tackled. Murdoch, did he touch it? He did.
Well, they're losing away a little bit now, Wigan. The idea was there, but the quick play of the ball, you could see that Murdoch was standing to feed the ball out wide and not actually run onto it. They're just losing their way a little bit.
It's a lethargic start again, isn't it, to the start of the second half?
Yep.
They're on toast if Warrington can raise their game.
Yes, it was this period that St Helens got themselves back into the game at Boxing Day. That should give them hope.
Here's Chambers. Gets the ball away under pressure. Bennett now. The Wigan are so quick to regroup.
Played well, hasn't he, the substitute Bennett? Really gone into them.
Shelford, he's looking round. There was no option there, really.
Well, the thing is, they've got to change their tactics. Once again, they're just leaving Greg Mackey alone. They're looking for his support players. Mackey's got to change something, a little chip or a kick, just to make them think that he's going to do something himself.
Harris with the high kick. Harris is after it himself. Aitchison comes and corrects. Oh, that was graceful for the tall man there.
See how he leaped up there. That's when height is an advantage. There's never any doubt who was going to take that. Good run there from the wingman.
Robinson milks the penalty and gets it. Maguire was holding him down.
Just leaning over, giving him a bit of a facial to start with. You see Robinson milking it for all it was worth. The ball just whistled past my ear.
Oh, Connor, I hear the cry all around the country. Why did it whistle past?
Because I moved my head, that's why.
Cassidy with the run. Hall the dummy half. Murdoch. This now Botica. Connolly. Well, he didn't want to come off. No wonder. Henry Paul.
Will we see a little bit of magic from Frano Botica? He's the man that ripped him to shreds in the first 20 minutes.
And here he is again, and he passes the short ball to Farrell. Murdoch is there in support. Murdoch spreads it wide to Paul, who applies the brakes and comes back inside, and he's hauled down in desperation by Mark Foster. It's the last tackle here for Wigan. Murdoch, little drop goal attempt. Not successful.
The idea was there, though. Trying to give away with 1 point. Not far wide, just pulled it to the left. But good thinking from the youngster.
Wigan piling in, trying to keep Warrington back in that section of the field, and there's a mistake. It was Gary Chambers who lost it.
Maguire was looking at Betts coming towards him. Never really had full control of that. Will Robinson go?
He will. Quick tap penalty from Robinson. Cutting through them, Robinson. Brilliant. Robinson caught them flat-footed. The mistake by Chambers allowed Wigan to turn the screw, and Robinson, he was doubtful before this match, but he set off like a hare then, and he caught Warrington cold. The defence hadn't assembled, and Robinson records his 13th try of the season and gets a bang in his for his pains.
This isn't a game of chance, it's all about quick thinking and wonderful play from Jason Robinson. He caught them napping, they went back, slowly did Warrington, and the young winger Robinson, who gets hurt putting the ball down over the line. That is wonderful thinking. Ooh, twists himself right over there. He's in a lot of pain. He was doubtful, as you said, Eddie, before the match kicked off with the ankle. That wouldn't have done it much good anyway. But wasn't it brilliant to see there? The initiative, didn't look towards the captain. Youngsters, they're so confident, aren't they? And it paid off.
Terrific thinking from Robinson. 20 years old. You tend to forget actually that he is only a 20-year-old. Such experience, 4 caps for his country. And that's, well, just 1 try since mid-October for Robinson before that moment. Botica proves he's human. Misses. First miss. 20-4. Wigan, 16 points to the good, courtesy of Jason Robinson.
Well, that's the type of move that the Warrington coach, Brian Johnson, will lose a little bit more hair. He realised that his side was really caught napping there. The heads just went down when referee John Holdsworth gave Wigan the penalty. He just lost it with a few seconds. Those few seconds weren't enough.
So again, Warrington have to dig deep. This poor run of away form has blighted their season, but this great run of home form has illuminated Wigan's. That's a great tackle on Harris, by Harris on Paul. Murdoch slips as he collects it. Bounces off Davis. Davis sticks to him, and along with Chambers, brings him down.
Classy run from the Kiwi Paul there.
Farrell bounces away from Mackey but can't get off Rudd, and another penalty for infringement of the play of the ball, and I rather fancy that Mr. Holdsworth has got to produce the yellow card.
Well, as I said in the first half, I think he's forgotten them, left them in the card or something. Well, they've tested his patience.
They have, and in recent matches that we've seen on Sky, well, how many were in the sin bin on Boxing Day? 5, wasn't it?
I think you're right. None so far.
and there's been plenty there for John Holsworth to have a go at. Murdoch, Botica, Connolly at pace. Connolly through Davis, out wide, Robinson. He's in touch. No try.
Good play by Jonathan Roper there. Look at that. He realised if he went too low that Robinson could slide in. So he went ball and all on the shoulder, make sure that the impact took him out into touch. Good attack and good defence.
Robinson 20, Roper 18. Game's in good hands with such young players, bright, promising players coming through, as well as the star names. Star names are plenty out here tonight. There's one of them, Davis. Rudd takes the run on. Great cover tackle by Connolly.
Good play from Warrington. They really are getting the back line moving now. It was a great link. He's had a pretty useful game, you know, as the fullback Justin Harris, and so has Francis Maloney. And their combination there, getting the ball out wide.
Shelford just hangs on. Here's Chambers. Wigan offside. Now Warrington, will they catch Wigan as cold as Wigan caught them a moment ago?
Well, they've plenty to choose from. Like a chocolate box. Take your pick. Well, they're desperate now, aren't they, Warrington? They have to get a score within the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, time will go be against them.
One under the post now would be very nice. Bennett's there, the dummy half. Mackey. Good run. Cullen and Davis and Shelford getting in each other's way.
He ran the risk of a Shepherd then. And luckily there wasn't a Wigan man near Shelford.
Here's Cullen again. Bennett in at dummy half once more. Chambers driving towards the line. Bennett again. Mackey switches the direction of play. Harris and Wigan scrambling to bring him down, marshalling their defences well. O'Connor has that.
Well, not the best attempt there from Andy Bennett. Trying to just kick the ball through there, when perhaps there was something a little bit positioned better. Off the hooker, Wigan. They'll play safety first.
A fire.
Jeez, Mackey went swinging over the top there. Martin just ducting time.
Harris picks up. Wigan wait. Harris takes them on. Tackled to the ground by Betts. Plaster over the right eye, one stitch underneath there. Cut early on. Here's Maguire. And it's Wigan's half again. 54-46. We're in the last quarter. Bennett's the dummy half. Mackey. Good ball to Davis. Great tackle by Farrell.
But there again you saw a typical example of how Wigan's defence are handling Mackey. They don't go anywhere near him. They just wait for his runners. They've had him worked out all night.
Maguire to Mackey. Again, Wigan stand off and Harris has a run, goes past Connolly, goes past another, dabs it through, one for Forster to chase, Aitchison there, Forster in quickly, and Aitchison in the end had to hammer it dead.
Good play again from the youngster Justin Harris. He's tried his hardest. Notice that Wigan a little bit weak on the blind side. Nice kick through, but it was well covered by that man, Paul Aitchison. He's been pretty solid in defence, taking some wonderful high balls. But he's played all right, this kid.
Mackey will run this ball back for Warrington from the dropout. There's the finishing power for these two sides. Wigan concede a few, Warrington score a few, and they concede a few too in the last quarter of the match. Now then, Maloney. Harris out of the back door, and it went backwards. John Holdsworth says play on. Cullen at dummy half.
Well, they're finding it pretty hard to get through this Wigan defence. Surely they've got to opt for the kick now. Just do something different.
Chambers. Last tackle for Warrington. Mackey dabs it through. The chase is there, and he just couldn't get to it. Referee says that they're offside anyway.
Mark Foster just out of the gun a little bit too quick there. Well seen by John Holdsworth. But at least that's the idea. They've got to change their tactics. They're having trouble breaking down pretty solid defence in this second half.
Penalty sails into touch. That's a great relieving kick. Martin Hall wants to get on with it quickly. Here's Kelvin Skerrett. 63 minutes gone. Wigan ahead. 20 points to 4. Forward pass.
There's been quite a few of them.
O'Connor just overran it.
Yep, timing. On that occasion, timing wasn't all that good.
Secret of good comedy, isn't it?
I beg your pardon.
Timing. Shelford. And Davis the dummy half. Bennett. Well, I think you're right, Steve. Over the last, 16 minutes or so, Warrington must change their tactics. Well, you've been calling for that from the first 20 minutes.
They've got to really throw everything at them now. But they've got to make the run at defence.
Maguire.
On very few occasions, the Warrington first man has committed a Wigan defender to come to him.
Cullen to Harris. That was a shepherd, that was obstruction. Harris used the man, Gary Sanderson, as a shield. There it is.
Well, it goes down as frustration, doesn't it? There you see 3 Warrington players just stood there as the youngster was running in. Look at that. You can see satellite dish over the 5 of them there.
Warrington have won 3 of their last 5 here in the First Division, and just 3 defeats in 9 in the past 10 years. It's looking increasingly now like that record will take a bit of a dent here tonight on the opening day of 1995 as Cassidy runs it forward. Robinson, meanwhile, has been withdrawn, and Simon Horton has returned to the fray. Here's Botica, and he finds Cowie, juggling skills from the big prop. And Cowie has come on to replace Kelvin Skerrett. There's Horton, the dummy half, to Murdoch, to Paul, to Farrell. Connolly, there's gaps out wide for a fire. Connolly, though, comes back this way. Farrell will keep the move going. Looping pass, they're getting away with it. Horton gets away from Davis and gives it straight to Paul Cullen. This is Rudd. Rudd grounded 30 metres from his own try line. Chambers. Back to Bennett. Just to confirm that Wigan change. Cowie on for Skerrett. Here's Forster. 17 tries this season already. It's his best ever. Knock on. Scrappy, frustrating for Warrington. Their coach, their players and their supporters.
Not the best attempt by the substitute Andy Bennett. He knows it too. It's been a frustrating night for the Warrington side. They did apply a lot of pressure after the restart. Looked as perhaps they were going to get back into the game, but the one thing you've got to admire about this Wigan side, when the pressure is really on, they know how to just calm things down, make sure the defence is good.
Look at this run from Paul. Botica in support outside him. He goes past Harris, but Maloney was there to shuttle back and bring him down. It looked like Maloney had brought him down a second time from behind him, not standing square. It's play on. Horton with the strength. And it's Warrington's ball.
Well, a super run by Henry Paul. Played in the centre tonight. He's come on to his own in the second half. A couple of good runs. Generally speaking, it's been a bit of a tough encounter. Someone looks to be injured there, a bit of blood. No. Holdsworth quite happy. It's congealed, it's not running.
Clock ticking away. Last tackle here for Warrington. They're deep in their own half. Mackey just punched the ball upfield. Horton and Aitchison meander back to pick up the ball and run it back. And Davis and winger Roper leading the chase. Brian Johnson, the Warrington coach, watching from the back of the stand. A bitterly cold night at Central Park, and he's not looking in the best spirits, is he, on New Year's Day? Knows his team have got to put their away blues behind them on Sunday for the visit to Keighley and the Regal, and they really need to put their blues behind them in the last 12 minutes here.
Talking to blues, Gary Connolly just sending it to the invisible man. Game getting a little bit sloppy now. It's been pretty tough out there. It really is cold. The fingertips will be tingling somewhat. Quite a strong wind blowing down to the advantage of Warrington.
Aitchison with that ball, possession at the scrum going Wigan's way, touched a Warrington man. Murdoch with a little run. Well, he's impressed tonight, Murdoch. Mackey with a good tackle that time on him. Cassidy. Well, a difficult player to bring down, Mick Cassidy.
Certainly is, he's worked hard. Been a good team effort from Wigan. They've shared the work.
Here's O'Connor. Murdoch. Henry Paul. Still going, Henry Paul. And eventually they just put a hand on him. And Harris was lucky to get away with that. He pushed in. Horton's there. And Horton's got the touchdown. Substitute Simon Horton. His second try of the season. On his 10th Wigan appearance.
Good play by Martin Afire there. You can see the Warrington defence is still on its way back. All at sea. They held off the big man, and the substitute Simon Horton has got the strength to squeeze over. But really was good thinking by Martin Afire. They held off there, and if three men can't put a man away, well, they've got a lot of problems. But he read it well, did Martin Afire. Come across into the dummy half position, finished off well also by Horton.
Simon Horton try on his debut as a substitute at Whitehaven last season. His 10th Wigan appearance of his career now. Only 19. Man earmarked perhaps for Philip Clark's jersey when Clark heads off to Australia and eastern suburbs next year. By the way, all these British-based players and British players heading off down under, don't forget you'll be able to keep tabs on them all with Sky's coverage of the Winfield Cup in Australia that returns to your screens this season. As from the third week in March, look out for the listings for that. Plenty of interest in the Winfield Cup this season. Fellas like Bottica will be playing. Bottica, though, missing with that conversion attempt.
6 Warrington players in that circle, far too tight, 2 of them walking backwards. Quick play of the ball, and the strength does the rest. 3 on 1, they should have had him into the touch. They didn't.
Well, Warrington have lumbered their way up to the halfway line to get this game restarted. Inside the last 10 minutes now, it looks like 2 more points for Wigan. And it'll be as you were at the top of the table, a 3-point gap as Cassidy loses it.
That was a great tackle there. Look at the impact there. Superb stuff.
So Warrington with a chance here, and in possession with Sanderson. He picks himself up. It's Mackey to Shelford. This is a stiff Wigan defence though. Very difficult to break down. Tackling like that. Cassidy. Bennett the dummy half. Mackey again. The ball in the arms of Cullen. Cullen gets the ball to the winger, Roper. And Roper with the 4. At last, Warrington score a try, but at 24-8, all a little too late.
Consolation, but well read on the blind side. Mackey does take a few steps, but you can see once again they held off. The second rower there, Paul Cullen. Superb pass inside. Nice little jimmy. Jonathan Roper in for the try. They laid off Mackey, but Cullen attracted Paul. And you could see that the fullback Paul Aitchison far too late to stop the man. And I'm afraid it's mere consolation. Superb pass here from Cullen. Look at the shimmy there. He sent Simon Horton the wrong way and deservedly gets the 4 points. But it's all to no avail, I'm afraid.
Harris then trying to convert Roper's try. Roper with the try, and Harris nowhere near the conversion attempt. Well, it's strange, Steve-O, that Harris is there and taking the conversions with Davis back in the fold at Warrington. However...
Well, I'm not the coach, but there you can see they just sucked in Paul there. It was a good run from Cullen. Nice inside step. Little that the substitute Simon Horton could do. He went out wide for the wing. Sliding defence not there.
Only Roper's second appearance on the wing. His first against Widnes on Monday. Was Warrington anxious to sign Andy Currier from Featherstone, and when Alan Bateman is fit to play him in the centres, perhaps then Davis at full-back with Harris on the wing. We'll give them a few more options.
And they need them, I'm afraid. They've looked a little bit lost tonight.
They're a shadow of the side that went so close, aren't they, to Wigan's title?
Without a doubt. They're not playing with the same intensity. They still have the little bits of class, but I'm afraid you've got to keep rolling along for 80 minutes. You can't just play for 10 minutes and then go to sleep for 20.
Davis again, almost using Francis Maloney as a shield. Here's Gary Tees, and Rudd brought down. Last tackle for Warrington. They're keeping it going to the end. Maloney to Shelford, that's a good ball. And here's Roper, chance for a second in quick succession from Roper, and Roper reaches out and scores. The try is given. The tackle wasn't completed. It's not a double movement. It's a second try for Roper.
Excellent play, but why didn't they put it on like this in the first half when they really needed it? Maloney ran at the defence. It was Shelford that dragged them through. It was Henry Paul that was sucked through. And this kid throws a beautiful dummy. Poor old Simon Horton went through the horrors again. He did the right thing, went for his wingman. The fullback was far too late. And the high shot. Beautiful long ball. Shelford there. You see how he's dragged in 2 players. Poor Horton, dearly me, there's nothing he can do about that. And that is a well-taken try.
Well done, Jonathan Roper. Second try of the evening, and 2 in, what, 3 minutes? And Jonathan Davis is taking over the kicking responsibilities, and even he misses. Didn't enjoy it. 24-12. We're back to 2 converted tries, the gap. Well, Wigan look like they're on the way to a 3-point cushion at the top of the table as we enter the brand new year, and Jason Robinson is downstairs with Bill.
Jason Robinson's just had an ice pack on his ankle. Is that the same ankle you damaged at St Helens on Boxing Day, Jason?
Yeah, it is. It happened just as I scored that try, and somebody grabbed my ankle and turned over. So, you know, just precaution, check me off and put fresh legs on.
But since you've come off and Kelvin Skerritt's come off, Warrington are running 2 tries. Is it getting worried?
Well, no, I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm sure the lads that have just come on can just do the same job.
Maybe just lost a little bit of the impetus, perhaps.
Well, maybe so. There's only a couple of minutes to go, and I'm sure they'll stick it out until then.
Yes, 3 minutes and 10 seconds to be precise, if you look at our clock, plus whatever the timekeepers add on for stoppages. And Warrington, credit to them, we say that a shadow of the side that pushed Wigan and Bradford so close at the top of the table last season, but they're not giving it away, this. Huge kick again from Davis, tester for Aitchison, and he's come up trumps twice now.
Oh, wonderful take. Oh, that really was sensational stuff. Yes, as we mentioned earlier, Eddie, the fact that Warrington can produce it, there's a replay of that. Eyes on the football at all time, never took any notice of the oncoming traffic. But they just don't keep that momentum going, can you? They've got to really concentrate for the full game, not just for small passages throughout it. That's the difference between a good side and a champion side. The champion side is in possession.
They are indeed. They're the team that the rest have to knock off in 95, no doubt about that. And even with 12 men and at times 11 on Boxing Day, they still prove too strong for St Helens. They've proved too strong for Warrington here tonight, despite the fact that the likes of Twiggamala and Edwards are out. The name's changed, perhaps to protect the innocent, but the show at Central Park just keeps rolling along. Impressive. Roper, 2 tries. Plenty for Brian Johnson to build on, but as you say, Steve-O, Mackie, well, for the first time there almost he drew a player towards him.
Well, not really. They've done their own work well, and full credit to their coach Graham West. As they're looking at the videos, he's a man that makes him tick, but he's wasted if you don't get to him and challenge. But that's a nice little kick through from Shelford. And what a great position by the fullback Paul Aitchison.
3 Warrington men then streaming up on that little chip over the top, and they decided to hack it forward again, and it was 3 against 1.
Well, I think he just couldn't bend down to it there. Full credit to Kelly Shelford. Let's not take anything away. At least he did try the option of the kick. I'm afraid Warrington have not changed their tactics enough. They should have realised that Wigan were allowing Mackie just to spray the ball out wide, and they were just taking his runners. That's why he should have run at the attack and maybe kick over the top.
Here's Farrell to a fire. Now is it fit? I think the answer is in the affirmative. That's a try. Martin Afire. Burst of speed, and although he lost his footing in the tackle, the momentum carried him home.
It's becoming a bit of a habit, isn't it? There you see, Mackie was nowhere near him. Gets into his full stride. Well played by Davis, just snicked him there. And there was little doubt of a double movement. He went straight over, the momentum takes him through. Botti get out wide. Paddle, who really has created a lot of problems running out wide of the ruck in his second half. He knew that this man was going to be on the inside. For the first time this game, Martin Afire pins the ears back, sets sail for the line, and is rewarded with the 4 points.
Martin Afire now tries in 16 of Wigan's 19 matches this season. Top of the try-scoring charts. He hasn't topped the charts in Wigan's colours since he came here. He's determined to do that this year. Botica clips the extras over, and in 1994 Wigan lost just 8 games only.
Because it is better. We've crammed in even more juicy blackcurrants to give you an even richer Ribena.